So what I like to teach a lot of people is own your power, know who you are. Welcome, everyone, to In the House Podcast Live. I'm Monica Rao, Director of Partnerships at REW. So happy to be with you here today. Wow is all I can say about the weather today that we have and the breathtaking view behind us.
Yes.
Wow. Awesome. We have a great lineup for you today. So while you may have listened to Toni and Jenny in past, either through audio or on screen, today we have a spectacular special event where they're actually podcasting live right in front of you with an in-person audience as well as a live stream audience. How awesome. In addition to Toni and Jenny up here with me, we also have, and I'm just going to look in case I get these names, Arlene Chiang, and also past podcast guests, Connie Buna and Browne. Now, before we get down to having a very honest and open conversation about being a broker owner, we would like to thank Pavilion, this incredible space, as well as Alabaster Homes for hosting us on their beautiful rooftop patio. Alabaster Homes is a local Vancouver developer who has built premier townhomes through projects like Oaken Park, Yukon Residences, and Spires Gate. Their newest development project, Thesis in Vancouver, is currently in the works. Pavilion launched in 2019 with 2 elevated shared office workspace locations, and we're so thankful to be here today. Few housekeeping items to talk about just before I get started. The washrooms are next to the front reception area on this floor. Do not forget to grab your complimentary Ovu Smart business card. They're waving in the back over there. And In the House podcast mug before you leave. And you can take a courtesy photo at YVR photo booth on the right there in the back. Awesome. Now, before we get started, I'd like to introduce our event sponsor, Julie Tran. Julie is the founder of the West Mortgage Group. Let's take a moment to welcome her to the floor. All right. I do have a few quick questions for you, Julie, before we get started. A whole speech? I'm going to derail your speech. So, first question, how about a quick introduction of who you are and how you started in the business?
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here, so thank you so much for having me. I started in the mortgage business about 16 years ago, and it was a lot like how it is today. We dealt with crazy stuff, high interest rates, a lot of market hesitations. And what I learned is just, hang in there. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. And as long as we're hanging in there, it's great. I am the founder of the West Mortgage Group. I started about 3 years ago. We have about 5 people on our team. We're owned and operated by all women, moms, single moms. So we get it.
How would you differentiate yourself from the competition in this market?
Definitely experience. We've been in it for 16 years. We've seen crazy stuff. We funded over 700 million in mortgages, so we get what everyone's going through. Like I said, we are a single woman. We are single moms. So we take a lot of care and effort into all of our clients. And I think they appreciate the empathy that we put into a lot of clients. So I think that really differentiates us from everybody else.
A question I'm dying to know myself. Why open a mortgage brokerage to begin with?
Mm-hmm. I came from the Bank of Montreal. I worked there for about 15 years, and I realized working at the bank, you really can't help everybody. And I think there's a couple mortgage brokers here that will agree with me as well. So having the experience from there, I decided to open up a brokerage because we have so many more options that we have for our clients, and we're really not working for the banks, we're working for the client itself, right? Whereas when I was working at the bank, I felt like I was working for the bank and not for my clients. So I think that's a big reason why I ended up opening my own. And, I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't want any partners. I wanted to do whatever I want, whenever I want, market the way it is. And that's why I ended up opening the West Mortgage Group.
Thank you so much, Julie, for being here. Also for sponsoring catering for us. That looks like an excellent spread. And always for your constant support with the In the House podcast. So let's give her a round of applause, everyone. Okay, so this is your official welcome to this special event where we celebrate achievements and top leadership of remarkable women in the real estate industry. I have the privilege of introducing to you 5 exceptional women who not only excel as real estate professionals, but they trailblaze as broker owners. These inspiring individuals have shattered glass ceilings, defied norms, and carved their own paths as an industry that traditionally has been dominated by men as we know it. Without further ado, let's meet our distinguished panel of female-led real estate broker owners. Okay, step to the right. To my left, our first panelist is Connie Buna, owner of Keller Williams Realty Van Central. Connie is one of the most inspirational mentors with a passion for housing stability and social justice. Her unparalleled commitment to client satisfaction, coupled with her shared business acumen, has earned her widespread recognition in the industry. She is also a vocalist for a popular and local band, Queer as Funk.
Yeah.
Yes, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Please tell me when your next show is, because I'd love to come watch.
August 4th at the Commodore.
You're not done. Just so you all there. All right. Our next panelist to her left is Morgan Browne, who is the co-founder and partner of Oakland Realty. She is a regular Forbes contributor, a consistent top 1% producer, and has built a strong team of 4 agents. With a visionary approach and relentless drive, she has built an empire that redefines excellence in the market. Round of applause for Morgan. Next to her is Arlene Chiang, Oakland Realty's partner and managing broker. She is the backbone of Oakland, and everyone calls her Mama Bear. Arlene treats all her agents like family. She is a role model to many and a testament to the Oakland motto, work hard, stay humble. This year, Oakland Realty celebrates their 10th year anniversary. Congratulations, Arlene. From the same family is Jenny Toni, owner of Oakland Realty Northwest and co-host of In the House podcast. She is celebrating her 1-year anniversary since opening her brokerage in Burnaby. Jenny is in her 21st year in the real estate business and founded West One Real Estate Marketing, a sales and project marketing company servicing developers in the city. Her expertise and innovative strategies not only propelled her business to great heights and respect amongst her peers, but Jenny has also inspired countless aspiring real estate professionals. Thanks for being here, Jenny. And finally, last but not least, we have Toni Singh. Toni is the co-host of In the House podcast, of course, and a partner of Bella Realty, a boutique brokerage in East Vancouver that was established in 1992. Toni is a strong advocate for work-life balance, family, children, and equality. Her unwavering dedication to professionalism, integrity, and personalized service has earned her a reputation as a trusted advisor in the real estate realm. Welcome, Toni. All right, the panelist questions begin. And I'm always like, who do I start with? But Connie, I think it's you. You're just too close to me right now. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. What myths about owning a brokerage would you like to debunk?
That it's a massive money-making endeavor.
I like the sounds of that.
It is incredibly hard work. It is very, very stressful and onerous. So my hat's off to my colleagues beside me who own and manage successful brokerages. It is a very, very difficult task.
Anyone else who would like to share some debunks?
Are we going down the line, everyone?
We certainly can.
I think Connie is completely right. I think that people think that it's set it and forget it, but it's every day. It is a work in progress, and everybody is constantly. It's not just one person. It takes a big team to manage. So I think just debunking that it's easy, but also that it's not. It has to be a part of your purpose every single day for it to work out.
Yeah.
Where I think some people think it's like a cash business, let's run, but it really has to run deep in what you want in your life. And it's a huge dedication that you're going to make not only to yourself, but to the people that you're around.
Arlene?
Let's see. Is this okay? Okay.
I know we're not close enough.
I think a myth that people debunk, and I think everyone here on the panel has made this one of their missions in operating a real estate brokerage, is that your agents are not just a number, right? Your agents are not just a number, that we're here to really serve and work with the agents to make sure that they're really prepared to provide the best service to their clients. And I think that's why everybody on the panel here has made a difference in the real estate industry.
Oh, great.
I'd agree with everyone. It's not easy running and wearing many different hats. I would say the biggest thing that none of us have mentioned yet is when we audit your contracts and are on you for FinTrack, it's because we get audited as well.
Yeah.
So it's not because we're trying to, make your life harder, but it's because we get audited on spot checks. So it's not us as well that are trying to make everything make you guys look bad.
Oh, FinTrack.
Oh, FinTrack.
Toni?
How many times have you guys been audited?
Surprise.
Honestly, I would have to agree. Our brokerage is, our brokerage is not as large as your guys'. It's small on purpose. And one of the reasons for that is that it is a work-life family, right? You're spending time with all these amazing people and invested in their future, as well as their clients. So as you scale a brokerage and you have more kids, not kids, but realtors to look after, more people as support, it can be challenging such that there can be quality control issues and communication issues as well. So we don't have that problem specifically because we purposely stayed a little bit smaller in terms of numbers.
While I have you, I'm going to start with you this time and go the other way.
Okay.
How does your life and career compare to what you envisioned for your future when you were in your first year of real estate?
Oh, that's a hard question. It's completely different now than I thought. I mean, when I first started in real estate, I was working many hours, like 16 to 18-hour days. People would get emails from me at 2, 3 in the morning. Jenny still does that. She still sends emails then.
I'm the same way.
So honestly,
Did you do a schedule send? People think you're not working at night, but you are.
But you know what? That's an additional thing to do.
Work-life balance, Toni. That's the way to go.
This is what I was going to say about that, is that not much has changed in terms of the work ethic, but the vision for what I'm out to create has changed and it's expanded. And I find that to be really motivating. That's what, as the ladies have said, that's what motivates me every day. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say so. Jenny, do you want me to repeat?
That would be great.
Awesome. How does your life and career compare to what you envisioned for your future when you were in your first year of real estate?
First year.
Oh my gosh, my first year.
Yeah.
A long time ago. That was, eons ago. At that time, I would say, okay, I'm gonna say that there were so many monumental moments in my career where it has changed the trajectory or I pivoted my business. Mm-hmm. It was either a burnout or my mission statement or my purpose has always redefined who I am as an agent. And at the beginning, it was more about, okay, collect as many assets as possible, work as many transactions, close as many transactions as possible. I was a solo agent. And then from there, I burnt out and I couldn't handle the 100 transactions I was doing. It was nearly impossible. I had to park on the side of the street and take a nap in the middle of the day.
Oh my gosh.
And that really pivoted. I had to restructure my business.
Mm-hmm.
So then it became a team. My purpose then was, okay, how do I help the agents build a life, build their asset portfolio? So my mission was to then help them. And now it's grown 20 years later. It's now at this brokerage, I have tons of agents that I feel responsible for it, and also just really want to be a cheerleader for them. So it became like a whole, it's more of an expansion for me, and really just trying to find, just give them support as much as I can.
You are such a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I'm way less stressed for you now. Arlene.
Okay, first year in real estate. I think like many, you're just hustling so hard because you need to pay your bill. You might not have had your first commission check till 9 months after, which is my case. and then you're working so hard. And where my life has come now is that I think I found a better fit. So we were talking earlier about how real estate can ebb and flow, and you can choose so many different elements to work within it. And so starting as an agent and then now converting and moving in as being a managing broker, my stress levels changed. My life work balance changed because it was a better fit for who I was as a person. And I think, understanding that you don't have to be a realtor and that it can be a better fit for you, moving into a different type of leadership role within real estate can make a huge difference in your life. So I think that's been the difference, is just understanding who you are and embracing it, and then realizing, oh, this is much better. Because I did a deal last year and I stressed out. I was like, oh my God.
She did. She stressed out.
I was like, I can't do this. And I don't know how anybody else does the deals. I much rather listen to your problems, help you, coach you through it. And then I sleep better at night.
I love how that one deal served as a reminder and you're like, nope.
Yeah. I was like, only to my best clients. One deal. That's it.
Amazing. How about you, Morgan?
Can you repeat the question? Because I feel like I just got really taken into Arlene's story there.
Of course I can. How does your life and career compare to what you envisioned for your future when you were in your first year of real estate?
You know what? I wish I could tell you guys that it's changed a lot, but it hasn't for me. And Arlene knows this as we're very close and we're partners. But, right when I got into the industry, I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And when I became a realtor, I knew that it was going to take a lot of hard work. I started in 2008, which was a down market. I sat in, number of open houses, nobody coming in. I remember when I was selling my first product, which was $250,000, a detached home. And I had to do double what people, where obviously our value is much different now. And at that time I knew, okay, I'm going to work towards something. I'm working towards another business in some way. One thing that has changed is it went from thinking that I had to do it alone to me finding two people that I connected with that we could create something fantastic. I had to kind of swallow the ego and say, listen, okay, I can help a lot more people with partners that want to do the same thing. So to kind of answer your question is, I always knew my vision of being an entrepreneur, and that's why I'm such an advocate to other realtors just really growing their business, having their storefront, choosing their hours, having some freedom with it. But at the same time, I think you can do some really incredible work if you're just willing to drop the ego, but also pair up with people that you admire and are inspired by.
No ego and teamwork.
Teamwork.
No ego and teamwork, for sure.
Connie, are you prepared to do this without a repeat?
Yes,
Would you like?
I am. I very honestly could not have imagined my life today in my first year of real estate. So I also started in 2008, and I was coming from a corporate sales background. I got into real estate because I had bought and sold personal transactions, and I thought, this is not rocket science. I can do this job. And I wouldn't say that at that time in my life I identified as a business person. I think that has been a massive evolution of my life, whereas now I fully embrace that identity. So I could never have imagined in 2008 that I'd be a top 1% realtor, that I would own a brokerage with 150 realtors, that I would own multiple other businesses. And I want to echo what Morgan has said here, that I simply couldn't do what I am currently doing and have done without amazing business partners and my amazing wife who supports me in all that I do. So it truly is about aligning with your purpose, as the other guests have said, and finding the right fit for the people around you.
All right. I should have made notes for all these tips.
It's on there. You can record the tape.
Yeah, it's true. You listen to it.
Thank you, Connie. We've just met, but we're great friends already. All right, for the next one, I think I'm going to start with you, Arlene. Share a defining moment in your career.
This one's so
I know, that shaped you today. I can give you some pointers. Perhaps a moment where it took courage to suggest innovation that caused a shift or affected positive change. Share a defining moment in your career that shaped you today.
well. I think there's like Jenny mentioned before. There's so many defining moments that shape who you are today, or have an effect on positive change or anything like that. But I am a very young managing broker still, but when I first started, I was probably one of the youngest managing brokers, and you don't go into that with a lot of confidence because there's not a lot of education or support understanding what being a managing broker means. And so I think a defining moment was kind of twofold. It was one, myself just going out to try to find some sort of a mentor in the industry to kind of help me get my legs under what I was learning and getting into. And that person was Kim Spencer for me at the board. I just called him up and I said, "Hey, can we go for lunch?" and he took me out for lunch, and I guess he liked me, and he suggested that I go to be part of the forms committee at that time. And so I got invited to the forms committee, had no idea what was going on. It was at the Vancouver club. It was in the boardroom that has the leather bound placemats, and it was all men. Kid you not, white hair. I am the only, well, there was one other lady, but she was quite wisdomed. What's a good seasoned, mature, seasoned, very seasoned. This is and myself, and I go, wow, okay, this is different from what I've ever experienced. So they're all sitting around talking about the forms that you use today, and then I'm building up the courage to say something, because they're all talking like they've known each other for eons, and so I just, I put up my hand. I said, "Here's a suggestion," blah, whatever that suggestion was. And they're like, "That's a really good suggestion." So, and I think that turned into something at the forum. So I made something better at the forums at one point. So that was kind of an eye-opening experience, I think, to understand that that you need to kind of clichely, like, there's a seat at the table for you. You need to speak up. You need to be involved with organized real estate to be able to make some changes. And so ever since then, I've been working in the board in different capacities to help the industry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. I keep on thinking, like, there's so many moments that have really shaped my career and what we're doing at Oakwyn. But, I keep on drawing back to this one time where I was sitting at the table and a man asked me to go and get water for the whole table. And as a leader, I was sitting there like, what? And it was in a moment of, okay, because, I'm going to serve, I'm going to help everyone else. And to a moment of saying, wow, I'm the only female around this table. And it was done on purpose, to be honest. And I didn't have the tools to respond properly. And at that point, I realized I have to do a lot for women, for the LGBT community. I have to give people tools. I got to give people hope. I have to inspire more people to kind of push the envelope and speak up. And that was just one of those moments that I said, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hopefully help people and give people the tools to feel powerful and feel strength. So, and from that, thank you. And from that, I reached out to having many mentors, as Arlene said. I've had so many mentors over the years, and we've shared mentors, and we've had different people that have come through our lives, and each one of them have given us incredible tools. So my biggest piece of advice for anyone that is in any type of industry, not just in real estate, is don't be afraid to reach out, talk to people that are doing it right, and talk to people that inspire you, And also talk to people that are different, people that are totally different than you, because that's where you're going to get really inspired to do some major change. Toni, what about you?
Kim's mine.
Oh, okay, it's going to
Toni, what about you?
Hey, wow, leader panel here. Shoot, there are so many, and I was really engaged in listening to what you ladies were saying, so I didn't think about what I was going to say. I think for me, if I was going to pick one, it actually comes from one of the most painful times that I was experiencing in life and therefore my business, because I do see them very much connected. And for me, it taught me something. What it taught me actually was that I hadn't looked far enough in advance. And as an entrepreneur, you're constantly thinking and being a visionary and creating. And back then, this would have been around it was 2015 when I had my son. And I was still thinking very different. So the mindset was a bit stuck in terms of, okay, like I was still door knocking. I was huge and pregnant, and there's pictures of it, and I was waddling, and people felt sorry for me, so they gave me listings.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it works. It works. But I was still making the appointments up until I was going into the emergency labor. But I scheduled the appointments for the week after because I thought that I would be, it was so stupid. I thought I would be able to get back out there the next week, and it was fine because I just cart the kid with me and breastfeed. So like, this is real. I'm just being honest. And it didn't go that way. And so it taught me, it was a struggle. It was poor planning on my part. It was unrealistic. But it was the personal that blended with the business, because what I really found was that I wasn't set up properly to service my clients properly, which was a huge failing. And that hurt a lot. And then also I wasn't set up properly to be a supportive mother and wife with someone with a new child.
I have a question for you. Sorry, I like to get bumped in here.
It's so embarrassing to say this, and we're saying it on the live because it's super.
This is where I want to ask you, Toni. Is it because you didn't have other females that went through the pregnancy?
Yeah.
Because that is a huge.
Yeah. And so it brings me back to the first question that was asked, which was how your first year compared to now. When I started in the industry, and this is not a knock against people because we love everybody. It doesn't matter, right? But when I started in the industry, I feel it was more male driven. It was more of a boys club at the time. It could have been where I was, and nothing against them, right? I love them. We get along. It's great. But it was very different.
Great.
Listen, no, it was different than now, because now you look up here and there's amazing women up here on this panel who are so inspiring, who I'm inspired by every day. And I didn't have that back then. And so one of the conversations that I've been having at our brokerage is, are you planning on having kids? We should set a plan into place for how that's actually going to work, because it's a very special time. Yep. It's sacred time, and it does need to be planned out, and everybody needs to be looked after.
Yeah, that's really amazing to hear how proactive you are with that. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt.
There's no pat leave in real estate, just so you guys know.
No, you'll be shocked to know.
Unfortunate.
It should be.
It's well.
Connie, defining moment.
Defining moment. Very similar theme that we have happening here. For me, it was 2014. I was working with a mentor and quasi business partner at that time, and I was in a place in my life where I was planning to have a baby, and I that mentor and business partner at the time was planning to leave the region and take his real estate business up to another completely other location. And I put together a business proposal for him to acquire his business, an amazing offer that I made to him. And his response to me, this is after working together for many, many years, and also using him personally for my transactions. His response to me was, you're going to have a baby, and you'll probably peter out after that.
Wow.
And so I'm not interested in getting into business with you. And that was an amazing defining moment in my life where I guess I have that personality where if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to show you what to do. So I'm very proud to say that I certainly sell more real estate than he ever has. And that was a defining moment in my life where I realized that I needed to be in closer alignment with people that had a shared vision, and that believed in me at a very core level.
Yeah. Jenny.
I would say that I have progressive moments because I'm learning about myself more and more every day. And in the past 20 years, I have an Asian background. So I grew up not really emotionally connected with my family and with myself. So I really excelled in business, but failed a lot in my personal relationships. So it was probably sometime 6, 7 months ago. I've always been like the spiritual closeted person, but didn't really want to reveal that part because my family didn't have much conversations about that. But also in this world, we are again in the male dominated masculine energy. It's like you're very mission driven. There's no feelings. It's all ego like played into negotiations. And I felt that my creative flow and my kind of free flowing spirit was really closeted. And so 6, 7 months ago, I went on this spiritual journey, and I've gotten to know myself a lot more, and being able to connect really well with the agents at my office at that capacity just brings it to a whole different level of mentorship and support, I think both ways. And I was always scared to show that side of myself. So I think people have felt that aura, felt that energy is quite different, as has shifted over the past 7 months. And also Toni has seen that shift as well over the last couple of years. But I would say that the moments are the conversations that I've had with the agents one-on-one. I go in with an agenda about productivity, performance, and it comes out completely off the agenda. It's not even about that. It's about mindset. It's about having a voice. It's about being your most authentic self without having to show up and play this kind of mindset game that we're kind of like taught at the beginning of this career.
And namaste, sister. You're my kindred spirit. No, I experienced the same thing. I experienced crazy burnout last year, which was the first time in my life. I'm an overachiever. I honestly think it's in my blood. I don't even mean to do it. It just happens until that point. And then you kind of break down and you're like, oh, shoot, what's next? I need a break. And I went and did my yoga certification, and I had the same spiritual journey. And it has brought so much clarity to my future and where I want to go, and a lot more calming. And that nervous system is just like a straight line now. So it's really nice to be in that space. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Now we know how important it is as well to be a mentor and leader to young people entering this field, especially females. So the next question is about exactly that. What advice would you give to the next generation of female leaders who are determined to affect change? Connie, I might start with you again and go this way.
Okay. All right. What advice would I give? All right. Geez, that's a hard one. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that one of the things we continue to hear is about authenticity and being your authentic self. And the other component that I think for me is a real a mission statement is really just identifying and understanding the ways in which we can identify barriers, but also the ways in which we hold privilege, and how can we help rise everybody, bring everybody up with us. So, for example, myself as a white person, as a white woman in the world, I have a lot of privilege. I have a lot of power that other folks don't necessarily have. And so the acknowledgement of that reality is so important to then moving forward and actually being authentic in the ways in which you're affecting change. So to all the young women out there who are looking into their future, you know, the world is amazing. There's so much opportunity for you to have, and also so much work to do that doesn't stop while we're on our mission to acquire assets and build great businesses and change lives. We can't lose sight of the fact that we have a whole bunch of people that still need support and care and help that we can help to rise up. So
constant learning and support. Yeah. Morgan.
I think that I'm very lucky to work with such incredible women, and I think we're all, you know, our little tenors to our own lives. I truly believe I brought myself to this point to be around these strong women that I sit up here with, and the women that are here as well, and men that are supportive of women, vice versa. What I think what I'd like to share to a lot of females and people that are kind of in that point of just starting their career is that we're kind of in a battle. Like, we're in a battle with your career taking off and you starting a family. Like, they compete, and they compete really, like, basically a lot of people have to choose, and a lot of people do have to choose, but we're in this industry that you do not have to choose that. And we can take a step into the future and plan really well, but also have great people around you. I think when I first started, I was at a brokerage where no one in the bullpen was a woman. It was just myself and I think one other female, but she wasn't there like as much as I was. I was there pretty much like I basically lived there. I should have tented like in this little bullpen area. And the gentleman that I worked side by side with, who was an incredible colleague, he was very special to me. And sorry, I just lost him actually. So unfortunately, Arlene's like, I'm a crier, okay. But he was an incredible competitor. He never made me feel like I was anything other. And when some people said to me, Morgan, you're going to have a kid one day, you're not going to continue to be a top producer. Flat out said that to me, guys, like had the nerve to say that to me. I had to bite my tongue and I had to follow with grace. I had to show them that he wasn't going to give me that future for myself. I had to start owning my future. So what I like to teach a lot of people is own your power, know who you are. We talk a lot about authentic self. It's not about just your authentic self. It's actually about knowing who you are, knowing that what you say has so much strength. And it's just as easy as like, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you're like, I don't like that food. It's the same feeling that you should have about yourself. You should know exactly where you're going, what you're doing. And I try to kind of hopefully lead by example in many ways to do that. But also I try to give people as much courage to be able to say, I can identify what the things I like and what the things I don't like. Because if people are going to say that to you, you have to be strong enough to stand up and say, you're not going to be the ultimate. You're not God. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do. I'm the one that's going to create my own reality.
Nice. Own your power.
Own your power.
Got it. Arlene.
Okay, advice or what's it's
younger self. Yeah, yes, advice to women. To women.
Yeah,
To the next
generation. Next generation. Okay. Next generation is I think that you have a lot of ability if you take the actions to become a leader, to surround yourself with really strong people, but also be somebody who is willing to do things that people look at and you know, it's good to say all these things, but once you start, you know, I mean, I was pregnant conveying a deal with a big gulp with my feet up. Like that's how we started the brokerage, right? It's by actually doing those things. And I don't think that I don't think I've earned a lot of respect in this industry through saying a lot. It's always just been by doing a lot, by being there, by participating, by getting involved, not even at high levels of organized real estate, just at committees and all of those little things add up and matter and build up the reputation of who you're going to be. So I think that would be it. Just, you know, look up to the people you have around you, get involved in what you feel comfortable getting involved in, and go from there.
Lead by doing. I like it. Jenny.
Get curious with yourself. I would say I didn't want to pigeonhole myself to one thing. And so I've evolved all these years and not be so attached to the outcome because things can change and there's so many possibilities. When you have one desire and you have like this one idea of how things are supposed to come together,
you're actually limiting yourself on different possibilities. So I've learned over the years that the best thing to do is just be open and follow your heart. Just have a heart-centered approach with everything. And when you're very open to different outcomes, there's an infinite number of possibilities, and the right energy and the right people will come into place when you need support.
Amazing. Curiosity and managing those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Toni?
I would say anything is possible. You just have to believe. And I would also say that in the struggle, because we all go through it, in the struggle is where you have the opportunity to be your most strong, be your own greatest teacher. And so therefore you should never give up.
Okay. This one is still very much driven towards development and mentorship of women within the brokerage. But in terms of everything that you've all just said, how do you actually prioritize that and professional development and mentorship to help them? How do you prioritize that? We'll start from the middle. Arlene.
No, I think Morgan got this.
No, you got this. Sister. We're like Gail and Oprah. We always say that. We're Gail and Oprah. We're basically besties that are constantly jiving off.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least how we've managed to do that at Oakwyn is to start WOO, which is the Women of Oakwyn, really one of our pillars of what we do at the brokerage to really, on the onset, it was really just to get women together like this, just like as Jenny's been doing. Just to get together and really feel supported and not feel like there's this kind of any sort of cattiness or anything like that. It's just, hey, we're all in this together. We have a lot to learn from each other. And then it's kind of evolved from there. So we've now, started scholarships and we're really trying to see what kind of a focus and what other kind of difference we can make in a bigger community. And so I think that's how we've been affecting or actually putting into practice, elevating the women and being, I don't even remember the question, being able to, mentor and get people together.
It has been such an incredible, we didn't know where that was going to go. I think we've always wanted to be, we've always wanted to help and we've always wanted to serve, but also like Arlene said we did just want to get people together. And now we're so lucky we've got so many scholarships to females that would like to, because obviously knowledge is power and we want people to really feel that they're making a change in their own lives. But I think actually like we do something just recently, this is what I have kind of come to is Oakwyn has been a place where women feel safe. And I'm not going to just say that, but I really want to say that because there's a lot of ownership that
just don't understand because
we're females. Yeah. And I think because we're females, there's a point to say, hey, listen, let's help each other out. Let's be a little bit more vulnerable with one another. And vulnerability is a huge part of just being yourself and feeling safe as a person that's really trying to push it in their industry, right? So that's what we do at Oakwyn, and we bring in great leaders like Jenny, of course, that is just killing it at Oakwyn Northwest, and we try to continue to push that leadership in a big way for females. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that a good segue, Jenny?
Yeah, sure. I'm looking at her.
Sure. The WOO event, I have to say, is an awesome event where the men get really jealous. They actually want their own WOO.
They want that WOO event.
Men of event. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say so I guess I'll plug my brokerage. I've done self-defense classes because I knew that was one of the things that I encountered when I was younger is being stalked. And even just like men texting me random things from my bus bench. So I know how it feels to feel uncomfortable and meeting new clients that you don't know in a space that you're unfamiliar with. So I did self-defense courses. I think as well, having the one-on-one coaching, although, I can't be everything, but the one-on-one coaching that I offer at my brokerage has been such a significant impact on just really understanding the needs of every individual. Again, every agent's not just a number. We're not raking in the dollar signs, but we really are invested in your business. We want it as much as you guys do. And I'm always checking in with the agents to see how they're doing and whether or not they've hit certain milestones. And I think I care so much about their livelihood and about their family life. And it's really just, I think that's one of the qualities of a managing broker and a broker owner is that that we are just not after their business, but we're also looking after their well-being and the longevity, like being able to sustain. One of the many conversations that I've had with the moms is they're trying to be a mom to their kids. They're trying to be a wife to their partner. They're trying to be a good top agent, and they're trying to service their clients. And it is right now very hard for them to balance. It's a conversation I have almost every day with the agents.
I can imagine. Connie, how do you prioritize professional development?
I mean, one of the fundamental principles of our organization is education and is training. So that was one of the things that drew me to the franchise. And so it's become a really core part of the way in which I give back. I'm the managing broker, of course, at the office. So in those day-to-day interactions with realtors while they're in transaction, and then also prioritizing time to have like productivity coaching conversations and one-on-one conversations, business building, as well as life planning, as Toni touched on. I think it's not something that for me I overlook. Like the business conversations is critical. It's important. This is what we're talking about. And also what's happening in your life. What are your life plans, for those folks that have, children in their lives or want to have children in their lives? Like that's not something that you just throw into the mix. As the other moms on the panel here will, it's a game changer. So really prioritizing those conversations, it's critical. Yeah, absolutely.
I think people just really don't really want, as mothers, as realtors, we want to be the best in everything we do. And I think that mom guilt really rides hard on you when you have two little monkeys screaming outside your door this morning, 7 a.m. while I'm on the phone trying to balance everything. And unfortunately, you have to you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest with yourself. So you're totally right. Life planning is key, because right when you're getting to that point where you're competing with your really the prime of your career and then the prime of your biological clock, right after that, you're really taking care of your elderly parents. Like it's just like a flow, right, of what has happened. So you have to plan. You're totally right.
I think it goes back to the why. So I'm going to echo what Connie has just said about the life planning, because ultimately we're in this business for a reason, right? So I think that a fault of the industry perhaps and early training is that, sure, obviously you need to know how to sell, right? Because that's what's going to pay the bills. And what about after that? So skills and training for sure in the beginning, because that's the foundation. And conversations and dialogue around what is your why, what do you want to create? And it's not just in the business realm, because ultimately the professional, the personal is actually there to fuel the professional, not the other way around, which is unfortunately the way that we're trained, right? It's like professional fuels life. No. Life fuels the business, the passion, the purpose. So it can be done in a variety of ways, as you ladies have mentioned, through training, one-on-one coaching, but I think just the conversation in general can really transform somebody's life.
All right. Now, we all know real estate is not an easy industry to be in. As we've heard, it can be long hours, highly competitive. Maybe it sometimes takes years to establish yourself. So for any of you, what has driven you to not only be, but stay in the real estate industry? Let's go with Morgan.
I was just going to make a joke. I was like, my partners have made me stay. I'm just joking. But no, I mean, what has made me stay? I'm one of those junkies. Like I'm one of those junkies in real estate. I was just telling Connie that last night or this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. and just like woke up. Like couldn't go back to bed. And normally it's like my kids just running around. I was like, it's quiet today. So I went downstairs and I was just like hammering through the Paragon, just going boom, 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 going through all of the things that are going, that's still in me every single day. And I just want to be, there was this one podcast I listened to. I'm also an avid learner. I'm constantly listening to what's happening and lots of personal development pieces. And they said, it's just a little bit of trauma that makes you a little bit better. I was like, where's my trauma? But you can't have too much trauma. That's what they say. But no, what I was going to say is what compels me to continue. I mean, it's, I don't believe that your purpose has to be your business. I think they actually you should have your purpose and then have your business. And what has compelled me to continue this business, I really just love what I do. I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was junkie, Paragon real estate all day. Arlene can testify. Like, she's like, we went away to Kelowna recently and she's like, you still really love real estate. I'm like, yeah, I do. I still love helping people, working with clients, and picking up the phone and listening to their stories, right? And listening to agent stories and helping them through those kind of key moments of their lives. So that's a tough question. I mean, Arlene, what's keeping?
I think ever since I was young, I can't sit still. Like, that's my thing. Like, I would work 3 jobs. I can't sit still. And I think real estate is so ever moving so quickly that it's like perfect for the person who cannot sit still, right? So it's evolved so many times for me, like Jenny, like everybody I think on the panel, where you've gone through so much different evolutions of where real estate has taken you. And I think I'm still in it because, it's the next chapter. I've been a managing broker now for 10 years. So, okay, now I've got to teach other people to be managing brokers. That's the next thing. There's going to be a lot more ability to create the next leadership for real estate, right? And so your focus, I think, is just always changing, and it's exciting for somebody who cannot sit still.
Yeah. Connie, I see you nodding your head so much.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm much like Morgan. I still really love what I do. I love continuing to be involved in the relationships. I love that over 15 years, I've impacted so many different people's lives.
Yes.
I love visualizing with clients. For the long term, I recently did a transaction with clients where we had a conversation 6 years ago about the possibility of them maybe saving up enough money to buy their first home. Yeah. And they were able to achieve that goal. And it was just such a, as you mentioned in my bio, like, housing stability is actually a passion and something that feels so integral. It's a human right. And it's something that really does drive me. And so as I'm continuing to move forward, I'm really looking at the evolution of my business as not just continuing with my transactional sales, which I imagine I will continue to do with other business partners, but also I want to be involved at a local level on building more stable housing, building more affordable housing, not just market housing. We've got lots of people doing that and they're doing a great job.
I did start with a love affair in real estate, absolutely. And it's a great place for sure to be abundant and make money. And I think for myself, the most important thing that continued to make me want to do the next thing, which is help more people, help more clients, are the relationships. But then now also in doing what we're creating here with all these amazing women, and listening to them. And now I'm feeling super, super excited about creating and doing more things and supporting the industry. And I have always felt that it's important to help people rise up. I say people because I mean everybody.
Absolutely. Whoop, 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 whoop. Exclusivity. Did I miss anyone? I really don't. Sorry.
Jenny.
Sorry.
For myself, by human design, I am a generator. So I'll be honest, I don't like going on Paragon. I don't like doing real estate transactions anymore. And not that it stresses me out, Arlene. It's more just I cannot stand working with clients who cannot make decisions. And so when I work with developers, they're my ideal client because they're very bottom line driven. They're very But what I like about it is the strategic thinking behind the branding and the marketing and the sales strategy. So I think I've stayed in this business because I've been able to evolve my role in this industry from being a solo agent to a sales and marketing company to now managing a team and coaching them, to help creating this podcast, and now the brokerage, and now going into my own business coaching, and going into lead gen models. So it's more about building different businesses for me and being a visionary. And that's what allowed me to stay in this business.
You're like, I think it's one other thing. I think we're all saying kind of similar things. We're all really big creators. Like everyone I look around, everyone's a very creative person here. And we say this all the time. Like we're so lucky we get to work with our best friends. You know, that's, I think, a huge part of the reason why we stay in the industry as well, is it's enjoyable. And I think that's something that this industry needs. You know, people see Selling Sunset and all these shows about real estate. Like, this can be an incredibly rewarding job, yes, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to evolve like Jenny has. All of us have evolved, but into different spaces when you get bored. You get to create branding and great creative pieces. You get to talk to people, inspire people. So it's so many different levels.
Yeah. Yes, people and relationships are definitely a common denominator.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the future. What excites you most about the future of women in real estate and the market? Arlene's in deep thought.
I was avoiding eye contact.
It's always that one that I will choose.
I was like, oh my God. Okay. What excites me the most? Okay. I think there's so I'm very managing broker-esque, a little less real estate, like a hands on the ground agent. So I think there's a huge changing of the guard in leadership, in regulation, in how real estate's going to be performed in BC. So I think what's exciting to me right now is there's going to be a huge you can quote me now, there's going to be a huge loss in leadership, huge loss in some really amazing leaders who have brought BC real estate to where it is today, and have really tried to guide all of us, I think, in our careers in different ways. So when that changing of the guard happens, there is very few people willing to step up. There are very few people that are equipped to do so. And I think what's exciting to me is that I think there's an opportunity for a lot of good people to get involved. And hopefully that we'll be able to build some really strong leadership. And I see it here today, but with others that are going to be our peers. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to be this next generation of leadership in real estate.
It's very interesting insight.
Yeah.
Morgan, do you want to piggyback on that?
Well, okay. So in the top 1%, less than 50%, 20% are females. And for us to make a change as women, we have to create some incredible leaders in our industry. There is a huge amount of women power that is out there. And what I'm very excited for is other females building these incredible teams that are inspiring others to build their teams. And again, it doesn't have to be all female forward. It's just about the lead kind of making a massive change in what they're doing, taking a hand and actually giving back to the community in so many ways. So I'm excited to see the top 1%, more than 50% female. Like, I think we're there, and I think women, like I said, we have to compete with our biological clocks with a lot of us, but I think there's a lot of support around you if you ask for it, to really be up there and not only sit at the table, but be recognized for all your hard work. There's just way too many incredible women. Actually, this year, funny enough, in my team, we have done more transactions with women teams than ever. And I was like, I'm going to keep this rolling. This is great. And it is a win-win for sure. On just saying, let's do it again. Let's work together again. And to be honest, when I first started, that wasn't the case. I was really solo, and Like I said, it was a way more of an old boys club, and I think it still is in many different areas. But I can see that change of females just kicking that door down with their big platform heels.
Women supporting women.
Yes.
Connie.
I will say for the record that I think gender is a construct, and I will also say that in the spirit of this discussion, I think that when I hear the terms men and women, what I'm hearing also is more that energetic vibe of the masculine and feminine energy. And I think that as women leaders, it's important again for us to remember that the constructs in which we work are based in patriarchy. Let's be very direct and honest. And those dynamics actually don't serve us. They don't serve men. They keep them enmeshed, I think, in a very toxic environment that doesn't serve us holistically as a community. And so I genuinely believe that as an industry with more women leaders like ourselves that are ready to take positions of leadership and ready to stand up and participate, we can change the narrative of the conversation. And I really believe that the kids right now are all about this. I think the future generations are seeing that we're moving outside of binaries and we're moving outside of traditional forms of business. And we need to.
Yeah. Breaking down walls.
Yeah. Woo! With you on that. Yeah.
Jenny.
Sure. I'm the most excited about, I would love to see more commercial, female commercial realtors.
Yes. Come on, ladies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do too much commercial, but that's just one thing that I'm really excited about is just getting more of them into the business. I don't know what, do you guys have any comments on that?
Class that you're thinking of?
Oh, well, that's a whole other, like the commercial. I don't think I know many female commercial brokers.
No, I don't.
Funny enough, I started as a commercial broker at CBRE.
Okay, maybe you can comment.
Dog eat dog.
Oh, okay.
I knew that going in, and I was very young. I think I was 20. So I was like very gung-ho about it. But the reality was I had just gotten out of school, finished my urban planning master's, and I wanted to utilize that. And I realized in my job, I wasn't quite able to do that. And you really were starting from the bottom. And I had a lot of mentors warn me that it really would take anywhere from 4 to 6 years to even baseline establish yourself well in that competitive market. At the time, it was a sea of suits. I think I was literally maybe 1 or 2 ladies on the entire floor. And even though I was ready, fully licensed, it's scary and daunting at first. So I did the best I could, but ultimately found within that year of mentorship that I really ultimately didn't want to go down that route. And I felt that there was more even in the planning and development world. That's how I faced it.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm noticing when I work with developers that there are women leaders that are part of the construction and development team. And so they've been really enjoyable to work with. So if I'm seeing that more and more, then, hopefully we're going to see that into commercial business as well.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Super exciting. All of these things. And I love these ladies so much. I was going to echo what you guys had said, but also, have you guys been seeing more female builder developers? I have.
Yes.
Loving it because it all ties in together, right? And, when many of us first started, there weren't any. Maybe there was one, probably not. I don't remember seeing any. And so the collaboration and the conversations that we're able to have across different parts of the industry are really inspiring and very exciting. I'm super, I can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of years. Yeah.
It's actually really cool to see that mentorship and leadership available to those that want to get into development, especially females, and more of the grants and funding available and Van City programs towards female leaders. All of that is really awesome to see. Yeah. Keeping on the future, what is your vision for the future of your brokerage and the impact you hope to make in the real estate industry? It's a big one.
World domination. No, just joking.
I can start.
I can probably.
Okay, no, you start. Go.
Okay. I would love, as a new managing broker, I find there's a lack of training and support for me. Besides my own coaching that I invest probably up to $20,000 a year just on individual coaching and programs. But I find that there's not enough specific for managing broker in terms of coaching, adding coaching services, recruiting, retainment. That is all just naturally just like learning on my own and learning from the senior managers that I work with. But I've found difficulty trying to find good programs for me.
Oakland, we're super focused on getting to the communities. I mean, we're super excited because we just opened up our North Shore Edgemont office. We'll be moving into Kelowna in about a week, and then we're in the Fraser Valley. So we're really excited to just spread the Oak Wind all the way out to different locations in British Columbia, and it's our main goal to just be able to serve well and to put people first, really be a value-led company that we constantly, our team, our leadership team, we meet every day, really. And the questions are always circled on how can we make it better and how can we make it more enjoyable? How can we get these experiences? And as Toni said, as you grow, there's going to be some bumps in the road, and we don't see them as bumps. We really see them as pain points that we can learn from, get better, and move to the next level of what we're trying to do. So Oakland, we're super excited. We have a super nice young leadership group. So we're going to be sticking around for a long time. You'll be seeing our faces and hearing us. And we just can't really see that wall. There's not really a place where there's going to be a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Arlene, Connie, future vision.
Toni?
We're the same. So
we're the same. We're good.
You go. Okay. Future vision as a broker owner, I mean, I really want to just continue to lead and inspire. I love that evolution in my business. So whether it be at this brokerage or if this brokerage evolves into something different, I see myself in that role in the future in real estate. So very excited for what the future holds.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm like, how do you beat everything that someone's saying? It's impossible. I think I know it's a long language because we're all winners up here. I'm gonna say future of the brokerage at Bel Air Realty Vancouver. I would love, like I want to feel every day that I'm working with family.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel aligned within the brokerage and the people that I'm working with, and I want them to win at everything that they do. So I think for us, it will be a lean and mean aligned group of leaders. I don't believe in, there's lots of different models, right? But sure, if you have a strong foundation like a house, you can build an amazing home and amazing structure. But my ultimate goal would be to help facilitate and build leaders. Everyone in the brokerage would be a leader, and the team is much stronger because of that, right? So I would learn just as much from our newbies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I think we're going to open it up to questions. I hope you all have one, or I will call you out.
Hi.
Do we have any initial questions from the audience? Yes, go ahead.
Hey guys, awesome panel so far. Casey from Ziva Mortgage. I'm not going to get the 3 Oakwindites to answer because I know your answer, but first I'll say, and Toni, I love what you said about everyone, and it's about helping everyone. And so this is the question. So as a gay man, I sometimes identify more feminine energy. Mm-hmm. And I said this to Morgan and Arlene and Jenny and their crew in Vegas a few weeks ago, but in 20 years in this business, in one way, shape, or form, in real estate or finance, safe spaces are so important, and they're so important for women, and they're so important for gay men, and they're so important for everyone. And so Connie and Toni, I'd love for you to answer how you guys make your spaces safe, because that's so important. And thank you for Oakland for having me for 5 years and making me feel nothing but safe and included. Welcome.
Okay, again, thank you for that question. We are a small boutique brokerage, so we don't face we only have one washroom at our brokerage, honestly. And so I think what it comes down to is everybody matters. And I think that at our brokerage, everybody knows that because we do treat them as family first. And the physical representation and kind of what Connie had said as well in terms of constructs and binaries and these kinds of things, they're irrelevant. people are people. And I think that in our pillars that we're using to articulate this, there's really only, what is it? It's CEO's leadership. So we would only bring somebody on if they imbued the exact same pillars. It's an acronym for something, but that we also hold dear and true to our hearts, or else we wouldn't bring them on. I don't know if that answers your question, but I think that's how you create the safe space, because it's aligned. You want everybody to, as I had mentioned, succeed and rise up. It doesn't matter if you're, and thank you for coming to this event, because we're so thrilled that you're here. And so, yeah, Connie.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Casey. And I think for myself, really, it's about, for me, it's about being in action when those experiences occur, and also having an environment in the brokerage where people bring it to my attention. So I'll give you an example. We have a trans man that works out of our brokerage, and there was an experience where he was misgendered. And it might have been accidental. It might have been a joke. Certainly was not funny. And I took it as an immediate opportunity. It wasn't like we had a conversation with the individual like a week later. We talked about it right away. I pulled the agent aside. I had a direct conversation with them. And then at a leadership level, we had a conversation about why it's important for people to, for example, just respect a person's pronouns. It's super basic and very, very simple to do. And I'm proud of the fact that I had an environment where that realtor could come up and speak to me directly and share that vulnerability of what was a very, very uncomfortable experience for him. And that I have the transparency and the ability to have conversations with agents and staff in the office around why these things matter and why it does matter to respect people in their identity. So, one example of that.
It's awesome. All right, who wants to follow Casey's question? Yes, I'll run to you.
Thank you. It's Julie again. You guys are all so inspiring, and it's so nice to hear your story. I have Tian here, who is actually doing an internship with the West Mortgage. And if there is one thing that really stands out as to why somebody should get into the real estate business, please let us know.
Go ahead, Jenny. Why to get into the industry? Well, you get to be around us. I mean, geez, we say it all the time. We didn't build Oak One because we thought we need to change it. We built it because we had to give back to this industry, because it has given us so much back in our families and our lives, and it has changed our lives. You know, we have all been cut. The ownership has been cut from the same cloth, that we came from entrepreneurial families, and we were lucky enough to see what inconsistency was and be able to know what resilience was, and to know what grit meant. And I think this industry, you have a second to not only change your life, but other people's lives in this. Right before I got here, I talked to a good client of mine. She said one of her friends passed away from pancreatic cancer. And she shared with me that they had a property. It's going to hopefully come up, but anyways, have a property that they need to go through probate for. And I said, tell me a little bit about that. And we talked and talked and talked. And by the end of it, she told me, once we sell this, they're taking all this money and they're going to be putting it into a recovery center on Pender Island, where they're going to be able to help other people. And they're going to also have a part where they're going to be doing some artistry for local artists, which I'm a big advocate for as well. And for that one moment, I didn't only get to hear about the sale and doing the deal and getting it done, because that's all going to happen. There is going to be something after that. It's all the things that happen after that. And after so many years in this industry, you'd only get to see the first year, the second year. You might be lucky enough, if you're still close with them, to see what happens for 20 years and the evolution of that. And there's something so special about that. And I'm lucky I get to see it on our agent level, where they're able to buy homes for their parents, pay people's bills that they can, some friends that don't have it, right? Where they're able to
Pay off their
student loans. And it's something that is pretty rewarding. That's my take.
To add to that as well, if you want to be a change maker, this is a great industry to be in. You're changing your life, you're changing somebody else's life, you're changing the community on a micro and a macro level. I've enjoyed working with developers because I get to sit down with them and understand how artwork will change people's lives every day as they walk by the piece of art as they enter their building. How ergonomically a home is designed so that people can live better in their homes. Even to sustainability, talking about how it's going to help the environment. And so these type of conversations are so strategic and for the longevity of like everyone's health, that it's not just about one transaction at a time. It's actually you're creating like a change in people's lives.
More questions in the back.
You also get a little bit of a rush too.
Oh yeah.
There's like a nice rush that happens, and if you're lucky enough, you're with the team. Like Julie, that you're that team like celebration. That feels great. You feel alive. So you'll get to feel a little bit of that as well.
Yeah. Anyone? Oh yes, I love the hands.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Amy with the Mortgage Group. I have a question for Morgan. You said you started in 2008 during the downturn. I'm 6 months into being. I just want to know, like, what advice you have to stay positive, to stay driven, to outlast this. I know it's a good learning.
Such a good question. So I always say, like, there's a couple things. One, I live by not making assumptions of others and not making assumptions of anyone else. And that also includes myself. During those times when they're really challenging and when the business is so down, Connie and I started at the exact same time. It is something that I got to tell you two things. And I wish someone told me this. So number one, it's really about who you're around. Like everyone around you. That's including your family. That's including your dog. That's including everyone that's around you, because those people are going to be the ones that keep you going. I have two good friends they have basically kept me on the same trail, and they're my biggest cheerleader. When I would get to work every single day, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I got to keep on going." And they're like, "You got to go." "Yeah, you can." And so I'm like, "Yeah, I can." And so you need someone that's going to just boost your ego a little bit, right? And the second is have those big audacious goals. Don't be afraid to just put it out there, because my team, both of our teams, all of our departments, we believe in setting those in front of you and just keep on reminding yourself. I promise you, if you put them on the universe, take my crystals out, they will come. And I think that's it. It's about resilience. And my last point is, don't get some routine in your life. When these times are really slow, like get to the office at 9. Don't leave until it's after 3. Like, listen to the people that are around you, because everyone's going to give you something. There's so many times at Oak Point, oh my gosh. And there's a couple of people that come in regularly all the time. And, people, all the teams are watching them. What are they doing? What are they doing down there? And then by the end of the year, they're on those teams. They're on the high producing teams. And it's because you're showing that you're willing to work hard. You're showing that you're willing to produce. And that's my biggest piece of advice in getting through it. I promise you, that next year I sold 42 homes. And I'm not just trying to boast that, but I had to have that target that was I think my target was 100. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, 100, I'm going to get to 100. And I did not get there, but it was one of those ones that I had to push myself to make sure I could get there. Yes. You got it. You're ready here.
Thank you. You guys have been awesome to listen to. As a home inspector, I am always going into unknown places on my own with sometimes nobody there. Sometimes the owners are there. You know what I'm talking about. Because I'm a sole proprietorship, I'm the only person. There's nobody else in my company to talk to about this. I always tell somebody where I'm going to be, text them my address. Do you guys have any advice that you give your females on dealing with this?
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Trust your gut. We've all been in awkward situations. I can remember one open house specifically where someone came in at the end of the open house. It was downtown open house. And I had like bad feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hung out real close to the door, and I wasn't shy about saying, open house is over. Like, have a quick spin through and I'll walk you out. But yeah, you need to trust your gut, I think, is the most important piece.
My team actually, like, I know you don't have a team, and I think it's about just actually your family or friends. Like, I have a Find My Friends on like everybody, including all male or female, doesn't matter, on my team. And the reason for it is because they're going everywhere, you know, like, and I want to make sure that I have a little bit of where everyone is, I think. And I don't check it all the time. I'm not like my mother, which does. But I think that's important, just to kind of say, hey, listen, even if it's a best friend, have somebody that's like, what, look, you know, that's just knows where your whereabouts are. Like, that's really where it is. Buddy system, if you can, but obviously it's a little bit difficult. But first of all, bravo for being like an awesome woman inspector. Yes. Like, I don't see that every day. That's awesome. We need more of that. That's my piece of advice is get someone to have you and Find My Friends. Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought this up because it is a real thing in the industry. For you, I have a few recommendations. Obviously, yeah, trust your gut, because sometimes it's that spidey sense where you just know. Second point, because you're the inspector and you're at the house, don't walk in first to a room before somebody else, especially the bedrooms. I know that sounds weird, right? But honestly, as a female in real estate, these are important things. And then the third thing is that we actually, I mean, you can also share your calendar with me if you want. Happy to check in. But we also had a really awesome guest on our podcast previously, Meredith Shutter. Mm-hmm. And she has an app where you can actually check in and it can send an alert to a family member, friend, like as if you don't check in, it actually alerts. So that also might be a good option because you're solo.
It's okay to say no to business. Not worth it.
Oh, well, you know what you could do? Yeah, I think we have to call it the same thing. Is that you should request that the realtor is there with you.
Okay.
So was it similar?
Well, I was going to say also work on your relationships with realtors, because most of the time they know the client.
Like, if someone told me, like, if one of my inspectors says, like, I need you to be there, yeah, I'd be there. Yeah. Like 100%, I'll stay there for 3 hours. I don't care. Because I think you can just speak to the other agent on the other side. Hello, I'm a female inspector. I typically like the realtor to be there. Can you understand that? And if they say no, they don't have time, they say, do you have an assistant that can be there? Like, it's just about don't be afraid to ask for things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring you guys back to your early days. So I would say, as a new agent, what did you do differently that kind of set you apart from your competition?
One of the things I share with new realtors as a value proposition opportunity is to say, you know, if your client knows that you're new and that's on the table as a discussion topic, I like to frame it as, you know, I'm hungry and I'm committed and I'm going to work so hard for you. Like, you have my 100% attention and focus. But similarly with the new mortgage broker, and if you're a new realtor in the business, like, my best advice to anyone in real estate is there's nothing more important than meeting people. It's a face-to-face, belly-to-belly relationship business. So your whole job every day, when Morgan was going into the office every day, clearly you were lead generating. Like, otherwise you don't sell 42 homes the next year.
Yeah.
So you were calling people, you were in communication. Hey, I'm a realtor. I'd love to help you. Hey, would you like to know a little bit more about the market stats? Like, really out there. It's not a post on social media. It's a real conversation. It's potentially an engagement, right? That might be part of your lead generation strategy. Do some engagement. And then you make a post and those people see you. You know how to play the algorithm. Mm-hmm. And then when they engage you, be like, I'd love to talk. Can I take you for a cup of coffee? By the way, coffee is less expensive than lunch. So get in communication and rapport with people. It's the game changer in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you don't think that it's all going to come from one place. You know, I've sold to my nail tag, you know, the Vietnamese store next door. You know, it's about putting some face to it. Connie's completely right. It's all about putting your face out there, having conversations. And again, it sounds crazy, but like the second I dropped the suit, I started really doing great work. It sounds really weird, but I thought I had to be this specific realtor. I had to wear the white. I actually have pictures of me in white suits. Now I'd wear it way different because it'd be cooler. But back then, it was like a Thailand suit that I got from Thailand and pearl necklaces. And I had my hair up in a bun. And I thought I was going to have to be this specific type of agent. I was young and I didn't know who was going to use me. And then the second I realized, okay, my style is my style. I'm going to be this. I go to showings in this, ask Arlene, I dress up, and that's me. I feel confident in it. So you got to be in this place where you feel extremely confident in what you're doing. And if people ask you questions, don't be afraid to be like, let me get back to you. No problem. Just always get back to them and follow up.
Yes.
Always get back.
I'd rather give you the right answer, not a fast answer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, go.
Toni,
first
transaction.
I want to hear I want to hear all of yours. I would love to know that. First transaction
for 20 years. Unfortunately, /fortunately, my first transaction, my husband loves this. He was actually my first transaction. We were not married at the time.
Although this really
he loves holding it over my head. He's like, I was your first transaction. I'm like, you know what? The second one was 5 days apart from yours, so it doesn't count. But he was still the first. The second one was my very first client who I had met going to a family event after an open house. And I totally had Morgan the real estate outfit on. It was awful. It was awful. But at the time, I was dealing with an older person and they recognized that I was a realtor. They took my card. I don't even know if they were printed fully at the time because I was very new. It was like my first month and a bit. And I was working so hard, just like Connie said. I was like, I will work so hard for you. And I was emailing them at 2, 3 in the morning. And narrowed it down and got it done. It was scary and it was exciting and exhilarating. And then my first listing was a different story, but you guys go.
Connie, what's yours?
First transaction was a listing, oddly. And it was with a colleague that I had previously worked at a large corporation. And so she knew me from this previous world. And so she took a full-blown leap of faith to list with a complete and utter newbie. And I was terrified, but I was also I was just so enthusiastic. I literally helped them pack. I helped them move. I did all the things that you shouldn't really do. Right. But it was in a formative experience, and I'm still in great relationship with those folks. And I have told them multiple times that they were sort of a pivotal game changer in my life and in my career. Gave me the confidence to continue on.
I got my first listing, or it was my first deal and first listing. It was from an unexpected source. That's just an acquaintance in volleyball. Her and her boyfriend were breaking up. Happened to go to the gym with her, and she said, "Oh, do you want to list our place?" Okay, sure. Listed it, put everything up. It was going great. I got multiple offers in 2008.
Wow. I also got multiple.
You underpriced it.
I did. I don't know what happened. But I did it all wrong. I put everything in backup, but I did all the backup dates wrong.
That was the worst.
Lost the first one, lost the second one, lost the third one, calling my managing broker because I screwed up royally, royally screwed up. And clients were very casual. They were like, it's okay, no problem. Ended up getting the deal done. But I just realized when it's your first deal and you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. So call for help, right away. And it was a big learning lesson. So that was my first deal. Still sold it. They were very happy.
That's why Arlene's so passionate about being an awesome managing broker.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's a rule.
Make a mistake. But you know what? You learn from every mistake. So it just makes you stronger. So don't freak out when you make a mistake. That's why I always tell it, it's okay. Just tell me what happened. I'll help you.
My first transaction was actually, this is funny. I tell this to actually all new agents. I'm like, get to know your brokers, get to know all the people at the bank, get to know all of you, because those people are your partners. They're your partners, really. They're the people that we talk to a lot. So I thought, okay, that was always my motto. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the banks and I'm going to go introduce myself. So I went to Scotia, in Carousdale. And I remember I went in and there was this seasoned mortgage broker that has been there for like 35 years. And I walked up to her and I said, my name's Morgan Browne. I'm looking to team up with a broker that I can actually speak with, or a specialist at that time, or still is specialist. And I said, and then over time, I just kind of courted her, actually, to be honest. We'd go out, we'd have like lunch together. I'd always ask for coffee because I had no money. And then one day she goes, Morgan, I think I got something for you, but I don't know if you're going to want it. And I said, okay, what is it? And I'm like, I'll take anything. The truth is I didn't look at a check, and I still do not do it for the money. And it sounds very cheesy, but my husband, my husband at that time was my boyfriend. I would give him the checks and tell him to put it in, because I never wanted this business to be about money. I wanted to be about what I did and how I did it, and what impression I made on my colleagues and what impression I made on people's lives. So I said, whatever it is. And she goes, it's $250,000 and it's on Musqueam land and it's a foreclosure. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'll take it. And so I got to tell you, I put my sign up, and back then it was just like one of those, like, put it in the sign. and the people who live there were going through foreclosure, and the people that live there did not want to go through foreclosure. So I said, okay, what's the best way of me handling this? I said, okay, I'll just get everyone in at one time block. So I had about 46 groups by myself in that one time block. And the woman was calling me a CUNT over and over and over again. And I was like, I didn't have anybody around me. And at this point, I remember this like it was day. I walked into my car. My car was like about to break down because it was totally a piece. And I sat there and I said, this is real estate. And I said, guess what? I double-ended that back then. It probably wasn't done right. Probably wasn't done right. But after that, everything was easy, if you know what I mean. I felt like it was like my christening or something to get through it. But they'll always remember. Do you remember yours?
I don't remember my first deal because I started a bit differently than these ladies. I actually was in developments for a really big developer. So I started off as an assistant coordinator, made my way up to sales manager. But what I do remember is a conversation I had I was like maybe like my 6 months in, and he was a gentleman who bought like a 1-bedroom home in the Colchena area. Probably older, like in his maybe 50s or 60s. And he said, so he told me that he owned a travel company. But this is specialized in like higher end travels, like to safaris in Africa and everything like that. And I was like, oh, that's one day I would love to go see animals. You know, I love animals. And he's like, you'll never be able to afford going my safaris. So that, like, wow, years, it's been in my head this whole time, which has like pushed me to where I am.
I think we learned something from the panel today. Don't tell any of us no. Mm-hmm. It will backfire.
Yeah. That's a very common thread here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
Is it draw time?
It's draw time.
Right. So West Mortgage Group has graciously donated this prize today. And we're now going to do the draw. Jenny, do you want to do the honors?
Jenny.
Toni? One of our podcast hosts?
Okay.
Don't kill Lita.
Okay, here you go. Okay. The winner is, where's her name?
Right here.
Jeanette? Oh.
Jeanette, yeah, Jeanette. Nice, Jeanette. Beautiful. Julie, did you want to describe what's in the...
Oh, it's a wellness basket. So starting off with champagne, there's Tiffany candles, and there's this life-changing bath salts, which I use all the time, that has crystals. It's been blessed, so you have a really good time on that.
Awesome. All right, so I think we're finished with the Q&A. I just wanted to say too, for myself, there's some of you that I've gotten to know really well over the past year, and others that I've met very recently up to today. But I really, really appreciate, and you as well, audience, joining us today. coming up and really showing up as your authentic selves. I can tell that even though you are super busy as broker owners, I can't even imagine what your schedules look like. You have truly taken the time to come here, to speak your truths, to be vulnerable and honest and as open as you can for the audience and myself and everyone else listening about what it really is like to be out there in this industry that still is very male dominated, and to have that insight and feedback and knowing that we always can reach out to every single one of you is really, really awesome and powerful to come out of this with. And I hope everyone else feels the same way. So I just wanted to give a huge round of applause to all of you for being such good leaders and also change makers.
Go in the house.
Yes. Thank you to all of you again for joining, both in person and live stream. You can keep updated on exciting episodes and guests on the In the House podcast, released every Wednesday. Yes, perfect. This is a reminder as well, we're finishing a little early, so we do still have food and drinks in the back there available till 2:30. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us and have a fabulous rest of your day.